Hey guys, it's Jessica from Troop Support, and I'm going to show you how to make aquarium cookies today. So for the cookies themselves, you only need a few ingredients. So you're going to need flour, granulated sugar, eggs, butter, and vanilla. And for decorating, you're going to want to have some Jolly Ranchers. We're going to seal the cookies with either white chocolate chips that are melted, or if you have icing on hand, that would work as well. And then we're going to put sprinkles on the inside. So I've got some sprinkles, some decorating sugar, and some like colored pearls that I'm going to try and put on the inside. And then we're also going to want to make sure that we have our baking sheet, a rolling pin, and parchment paper. Okay, for our first step, we want to cream our butter and sugar. So we're going to have 4 ounces of butter or 1 stick softened, and then 1 cup of granulated or white sugar. Alright, so we've got our butter and sugar creamed together, which just means it's mixed into a nice smooth paste of the butter and sugar. And now we're going to add 1 egg and a little bit of vanilla. Okay, so I added my egg and my vanilla, and then I'm going to mix that all together. Now the recipe I found didn't actually call for vanilla, but some of the comments said that the cookie dough was a little bit bland, and one person suggested adding vanilla, so I added about 1/4 teaspoon to my dough. Okay, so my sugar, butter, egg, and vanilla are all mixed together into a nice creamy paste here. And now I'm going to add in the flour. So it's important to do your wet ingredients first and then add your dry ingredients rather than just dumping it all in together. Okay, so our final ingredient is to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. If you have a flour sifter, it is nice to use that because it gets all of the lumps out of the flour, which you can see I wasn't able to do because I don't have one. But if you don't have a sifter at home, it's not completely essential. It's just kind of nice to have. So I'm just using a spatula to hand mix it myself, but if you have a hand mixer or a KitchenAid mixer, I would suggest adding in 1 cup of flour at a time and mixing on low so that you don't have a big flour cloud pop up whenever you are mixing, and you can add those dry ingredients to the wet ingredients slowly. Alright, so when you have your cookie dough all mixed, now we are going to cover this and put this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to set it up before cutting. Okay, so now that our dough is cool, we are going to go ahead and roll it out. It's important to put a little bit of flour on your surface as well as your rolling pin so that your dough doesn't stick. Alright, so now that we have our dough pretty evenly rolled out, we are going to start cutting our circles. So if you have cookie cutters at home, that is fantastic. If you don't, you can use glasses, which is what I'm going to use, and I will show you how to do that. Just make sure to put a little bit of flour around the rim of the glasses, or even the cookie cutters as well, so the dough doesn't stick to it. Alright, so for our first circles, you're going to want to use a 3-inch round cookie cutter if you have it. Otherwise, like a tumbler or drinking glass would work to make circles about this size. Alright, and then for the inside of our circles, we are going to use 2-inch cookie cutters or a smaller glass that you might have that it's about that size. And we are going to very carefully move our rings onto our baking cookie sheet, and I did put parchment paper down since we are going to have the Jolly Ranchers. It's probably a better idea to have the parchment paper because that candy is going to stick, so that will help with that. Alright, and this is what you should have when you're finished.